Oh, yo, what up? What up? This is the Collective Podcast. I'm here with my near and dear friend, Rodney Saucier, Senior, aka Rodney
Okay,
Roberts,
Dark Man Unknown.
aka Dark Man Unknown. Um, Shout out to DMX, Dark Man X. Um, we had a moment of silence for him last week, but since Rod went ahead and said Dark Man Unknown, we have to shout out DMX again, since that's what DMX stands for, in case you guys didn't know, Dark Man X. But yeah, shout out. Hope all is well. Good morning to everyone. And I mean everyone, because no matter where you are in the US, it's the morning now. You could be somewhere else in the world and it not be morning. Like if Shablan is watching in the Philippines, it's absolutely the evening. So good evening, Shablan and family. But hope all is well. This is episode 57 of the Collective Podcast. We are live. I am AC from LA, and like I said, I got my near and dear friend here, Rodney Saucier Senior. Um, I don't know what it is. My dad tries to get on, but for whatever reason, we got to practice this because my dad is trying to get on right now, but it says device is not connected, so he's actually awake. Um, So, Dad, if you can get on, great. If you can't get on, thanks for trying. Just watch us. I think you usually watch on YouTube, but again, he's trying to get on so he could join us. But anyway, my near and dear friend, Rodney Saucier Senior. Let's get into it. I'll do my intro. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a podcast to step to. Think of how many weeks shows you slept through. Time's up. I'm sorry I kept you, kept you, kept you, kept you, kept you. Nah, what up, what up? Rod is over here trying to get lighting into his domain. And so we will be patient with him while he figures that whole thing out. We got a lot to get to in a short period of time today. Rodney had an eventful situation on the field last night. I don't know what he can share, if anything. So if he can't share anything with you guys, then you guys will have to wait for the our subscribers on for bonus content on Patreon. You guys can find out what happened. Just like you
Yeah.
guys can find out what I was gonna say about the SC situation. But I'm not saying that live. You got to pay for that. And by the way, we don't have Patreon subscriptions yet, but if there's a demand, then we'll go ahead and set that up. Can you share anything about your outing last night, Rod?
Man, I know the way they had those fans placed right 3 feet behind me in the back of the end zone whenever I went uh, to the end line of the end zone. It was I could just, hey ref, shouldn't he be ejected? Hey ref, that's holding. Hey ref, you missed pass interference. I mean, like all night. And the other team, the home team, had bleachers on one side of the field. So their home fans get to sit in the bleachers, but they're sitting right behind the visiting team. And the visiting team's fans sat in the end zone. Of course, they didn't stay in their chairs, they stood behind the goalposts. So, uh, visiting team was still trying to get a last second touchdown before the game ended. Pass incomplete. Fan starts jawing at the players. Visiting fan starts, and he has on a Letterman jacket of the visiting team, so he starts jawing at the players. Grown man, which I can't stand. Um, so players start talking back, and I'm
Hold
trying
on
to
one
get
second,
them.
Rod. You,
Okay,
you keep talking. You keep talking. Hold on.
I'm trying to get them out of the end zone. I'm telling them, hey, you know what? Clock is at zero. This game is over. So I'm getting ready to exit the end zone and notice my partner has a flag in the end zone, which means that he had the flag on the defense, which means that the offense is entitled to another play. But given the circumstances with this fan getting kind of hostile with the players, I'm like, man, forget this flag. Pick it up. Let's go. Um, but you know, my white hat was like, hey man, they the visiting team wants to run their play. So I look around and the home team who won the game, who's winning the game, their players have stormed the field to
Hmm.
celebrate. Um, and now we got my umpire and my line judge telling them to get off the field. We still have to run one more play.
Hmm.
And this fan that's heckling the players and talking trash to them is getting worse and worse. So eventually, the players that I got out of the end zone went over and said, "Yeah, this guy over here is talking mess to us." So the assistant coaches and the coach and the athletic director go over to speak to the fan, and he's hitting them with f bombs and like he's not stopping, he's not letting up. And lo and behold, the game was called over. We're getting off the field, and punches started getting thrown between the fan and the assistant coach. Haymakers. I didn't see one punch land.
Wow.
If you're gonna start a fight, at least be good at it. But yeah, bless you. So we didn't run that last play, and that game was over.
Wow. So did you guys? Well, I guess you guys just ran off the field, right?
Yes,
Okay.
immediately.
Okay.
And my car was parked close, but the home team didn't like penalties being called on them. They were complaining the whole night. Obvious big penalties, not little ones. You
Hmm.
know, not just holding like, hey, ref, he's grabbing my jersey, but holding like takedowns.
Hmm.
Um, each time pass interference, I had 3 or 4 DPIs with the defender. First series of the game, I think I had an OPI, but I had 3 DPIs after that with the
Hmm.
defender just not even attempting to play defense. Just like, well, one was a holding because the ball wasn't in the air yet, and then the other two were just flat out DPIs with just early contact, jumping on the receiver before they could even put their hands up to catch the ball. It was it
Hmm.
was bad. So it'll probably be in the newspaper today somewhere.
Wow.
It was bad.
Wow. That is wild.
Yeah. And some of these coaches, they know you from other places, so they get personal and they start talking trash. This this coach, I won't say his name, but he was getting personal with my line judge, saying, "You're a baseball ref. You don't know what you're doing." Now, mind you, the guy he's talking to has a great resume. I mean, you can't ask for a better line judge if you're gonna have one on your side. It's definitely someone who knows what they're doing. He does. Um, but the whole night was bad. It was brewing before the game started. I mean, the players from the home team was jacked up. It was senior night. They just wouldn't calm down, and the coach wouldn't tell them to calm down. When a defensive back gets 3 offsides penalties, have you ever heard of that in the history of football?
Not uh not before right now. No, I haven't. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. And I don't mean like jumping because, the quarterback had a hard count or something. I'm talking about you're lining up nose to nose with the receiver and not watching the football. You're in the neutral zone. And you're told after the first time, hey, you're in the neutral zone, back up some, and you continue to do it. And the coach didn't address the player. Just, well, what do you mean? What is he doing wrong? You got to be kidding me. That's a terrible call. That's when you lose me. So it was eventful, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So any so did you only work last night or did you work Thursday too?
I worked Thursday. That was nothing. Just
No,
two bad teams.
uneventful.
And I also worked a game at 3:15 yesterday. So I worked two games yesterday. One at 3:15 and one at 7. The 3:15 game, again, it wasn't eventful.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. What's up, Cobbs? How you doing, brother?
Good morning, brother.
Hope all is well. So weird thing for me is I finally got back to basketball this week, as you know. So I was out working a school in Long Beach on Tuesday, I want to say. So it was weird. They had a team from San Gabriel Valley, and it was interesting. So you know who the partner was, and I want to say we were like 3 minutes into the game when he teed the coach. That I called you after the game so that we could talk about the.
He didn't tell me that. I worked with him the night after, and he didn't tell me that. He just raved about how fun he had, how much fun he had working with you.
So yeah, no, it was fun, but it was also, you know me, and I was in my element, and so he teed the coach, and the coach was like, "You teed me up because you missed, because you're not looking, you're not in the right position." And I said, "No, coach, you got teed up because of your delivery. Whatever you feel about his officiating, you've now tried to embarrass him, and you've berated him, and you've yelled at him in front of everyone in the gym. That's why you got a technical." And I was surprised he didn't say anything about, "What do you mean everyone in the gym? The gym is empty." But he didn't say that. But I let him know, and it's about your delivery. And so what was interesting is I wish your guy could get film of the game, because one sideline play he probably missed. Like the player stole the ball around the division line, and so I was the trail, and now there's a turnover, so I'm the lead. And so, I'm not going to have his sideline anyway. But she fell around the division line, and apparently she fell out of bounds while touching the ball. And maybe even the ball was out of bounds, but somehow he missed it. And I think because he was on the court. I don't know how he missed it, but that's when the coach erupted. And then there was another time after that where he had a closed look, and he should have had a closed look because there were multiple players by his sideline. So there was a pass that went out of bounds, but I knew it was tipped. So I was ready with information. Like when he looked my way, I gave him the direction, but then he blew his whistle and asked for help. So, I blew my whistle and said, "White, how do you didn't see that one either?" And da-da-da-da. So then that's when he got, actually, I think he teed him after the first one. But the point is, if he sees his first play versus the 3 sideline calls that I had on that same sideline, along, the coach's sideline, he can see the difference in being in great position as an official. because I was right there on them. And you could see on 2 of them, one for each of the teams, the coach looked at me to see if I saw what they saw. And it's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm standing on the sideline. I'm about to make the call. I don't need your help. But it was interesting. But the problem that I had, and I told him this after the game, is you teed this coach, and I ride for you now. I'm backing you. And now that he's mad at me, you're laughing and joking with him. Like, what did I miss? He has a technical foul. You're not his friend. And what, you're comfortable now because he wants to laugh and talk with you? Remember, you're the one that teed him. I wouldn't have teed him. I just embarrassed him back. And that's the thing. I said, I kept lowering the volume and it was making him mad. And his assistant kept talking. And I felt bad, a little black lady, not a little at all, black lady, but she was talking mess. And I was like, and I didn't even address her. I said, Coach, I don't want to hear from your assistant. You know how we do. And It's like, why did she think she could keep talking? I don't care if you're a sister or not. You don't get to talk. He's already acted a fool. He's already got a seat. Why you got to tell me I got a seatbelt? So you know what? Let's go through that. Let's go through that. I know this is Jimmy Mack too. You on here, Jimmy Mack? This is what coaches do. So I said, Coach, I want to let you know that you got a technical foul and now you have a seatbelt. I know the rule. Oh, okay. So if you know the rule, Coach, then you know that by rule, I have to let you know that you're not able to stand anymore, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, but I know the rule. Okay. But I need you to acknowledge that you understand that da-da-da-da-da. And if you know the rule, then and you know that I said, and if you know the rule, then you know that by rule I have to tell you. So why aren't you letting me tell you? Well, I don't like you saying I have a seatbelt. And I said, okay, so would you rather I say, hello, Coach, you're no longer able to stand unless there's a timeout? Well, I don't care what you say, but you don't have to tell me. Okay, well, by rule, I have to tell you. Now I've told you. Please don't get up unless there's a timeout. Or unless you have to use the bathroom, punk. But so he was mad at the seatbelt thing, and he yells a couple more times and say, Coach, you gotta stop. You gotta stop that. So we go, no, it's not an easy job. Thank you. He takes his hat off to me. And you know what hat he's taking off? He's taking off his Dodger cap to tip it. Because once again, we are the best team in baseball. Shout out to the Dodgers. Shout out to
Man, I hate I missed that game last night because I woke up to alerts on my phone that they scored 5 in the 12th.
5 in the 12th, yeah. So let's see. So he's mad, and he says stuff like, well, that was a tip. Well, how did he see the tip? No, he said, you're 80 feet away. How did you see that? And I said, because it's my primary area of focus right there. I'm actually looking at that because he's got a closed look. So there's nothing else for me to look at. So I'm watching to see if there's a tip. So later on, there was a tip that my partner saw, and he was like, oh, he saw that one, huh? So he just had little things to say all night. So at one point, we had a hell ball right before halftime, and I forgot. And, table staff wasn't very helpful, but it's my fault. I forgot. So I was about to put the ball in play for White, and he said, White just had a jump ball. Well, we know it's not called a jump ball, but it's fine. I let him get that off. And I said, oh, yeah, you're right. My fault. Red. And then he sat down and went, and I was like, wow, Coach. So I'm not allowed to make a mistake? I didn't say anything to him. Why is he talking to me? Why is he yelling at me? Why? That's the same thing you told me that I did to him. Now you're doing it to me. I said, but Coach, I haven't yelled at you one time. I projected my voice from one side of the court to the other, but I never tried to embarrass you. I just told you that I made a mistake. So if you can't take me telling you that I made a mistake, then I really don't know how we're supposed to communicate with you. But it doesn't matter because we don't have a lot to say to you anyway. You've already got a technical. And then she tried to say something else. I said, Coach, I don't want to hear from your assistant. And she said something else, and I said, that's it. I don't want to hear your mouth again, or you're done. So I had to talk to her at that point. I was about to put her out of the gym. Yeah. And like Michael Jackson said, it don't matter if you're black or white, you got to go. Did I just quote black or white? I don't even like that song. I don't
Yeah.
even like that song. Oh yeah, great game. Go Doyers! Hey baby. So I golfed on Wednesday. It was a lot of fun. I was with my dad and I was with Roland, who is Marlene's husband. For those of you that know Marlene. So my dad and Roland, that was cool. And then I went to the driving range with my mom and Danielle on Thursday. And we did a little putting, driving range and putting green. So it was fun. Shout out. Yeah. So Rod, let's get to it. Dodgers best team in baseball. Lakers third best pro basketball team in LA. I don't know who's second. Insert team here.
Hey man, all I know is there are nothing but subs playing all over the NBA.
Man. So let me tell you one more thing. So I was supposed to work a football game last week, as you know, that I didn't really want to work, and it was canceled due to COVID-19. So I'm not mad at that. So today I have a lacrosse game early, and then I was supposed to have a basketball doubleheader. But the second half of the doubleheader was canceled because the visiting team, the visiting team has COVID-19 complications. So I only have the lacrosse game and then the first basketball game. So
Right.
be interesting to have my second basketball game of the season. But
Basketball game today was canceled.
COVID.
It got canceled a while ago, so I don't know. But it was supposed to be at 1 o'clock today, and I would have struggled because my heel is really sore.
Your heel is? Oh no.
My heel is sore, so yeah.
So what you guys may not know is the struggle for Rod in this instance is probably as much mental as it is physical. Because when he thinks back to the days when he walked without shoes back post plantation, his heels were bothered quite a bit. Rough and rugged. It's not a new twist. Been true boy since the first get go. All right, Rod, let's get into it. Nothing but subs in the NBA.
Yeah, it's hard to watch, man.
NBA is hard to watch.
I mean, the players don't want to play anymore. It's like, hey, give me a $230 million deal, but I only want to play 22 games out of 72. The season is already condensed, and now they're still taking games off. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. If and you got healthy players still sitting.
Yeah.
And I get teams who say, hey, we don't, I can cut Brooklyn some slack because they said Durant is ready to go, but they're winning. So they're taking it slow with bringing him back. I get that. Considered he's had a torn Achilles tendon. You don't want to, but at some point you have to get your body game ready. And healthy players, the whole time I've grown up, is they want to play. Like they won't let you keep them. Jordan wouldn't let Phil Jackson keep him on the bench. Even when he came off the broken leg, he's like, no. We saw the documentary, and he's like, no, I want to play. Kobe played with too many injuries to name at once.
Yeah.
And wasn't missing games.
Yeah.
And now you have these players, they get a knee to the thigh and they're out for 2 or 3 months. It's hard to watch, man.
A knee to the thigh. Oh. How does this always come back to Anthony Davis?
I don't know. Tender Love Davis, as Anthony Cobbs calls him. That is a hilarious name.
Tender love, I wanna get close to you. Baby, I'm sitting out this game. All right. So,
Oh,
oh,
Larry says scheduled rest days. Um,
what's up, Larry Gray?
yes, sir. My main man
Larry Gray.
stays sharp as a tack.
Shout out to, shout out to Ace Express. Ain't that right, Larry Gray? Um, that's my guy. And he's a 49er fan, so go Niners. Yeah, healthy scratches. I hear you. Tender league. Oh, tender league. Okay, okay. So does Anthony Davis get a pass because he's Anthony Tender Love Davis, but he's playing in the National Basketball Association / Tender League? You gotta let me know. You gotta
He's
let me
had
know.
a
Does he get to
he's
go?
had a bruise. He's had a bruised calf for what, 2 months now? 2.5?
Um, Rodney, I listen. Does he want to borrow my Theragun? Because I think the Theragun can pop that contusion right out.
I don't know.
Like, can't you just go to Massage Envy?
Something for 2 months.
Can't you just go to Massage Envy and get that taken care of? And I'm joking because he obviously doesn't have to go to Massage Envy. You know, he's got Gary Vee over there. Like, not come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
it's too much, man.
I don't understand.
Too much.
So, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm listening. I'm just thinking out loud.
So, in other news, the Western Athletic Conference is coming. Oh my goodness! Read that right.
He's the David Ruffin of the Tendertations. Everybody coming to see you, Kuzma.
Isn't Kuzma the leading scorer during these rough and tough times?
I
At
don't
like
know.
16 points per game.
We don't know when he's gonna show up.
What's your brother been doing? What's um Kentavious Caldwell Pope, Robert Saucier been doing?
I haven't seen a Laker game in 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Well, I get it. I get it.
I did come across a Sixers game, and I'm sitting there thinking, now Danny Green wants to hit shots.
There you go. You are not fucking with Danny Green.
Now he wants to hit
Talk
shots.
about his run, Ryan. Talk about
Man, I guess it's every other team for him.
every other team.
Yeah.
Rodney said that Rodney said that Danny Green was like the Flintstones. He had to like get his feet revved up to get going. And then he still couldn't get there. Oh man. So what, you in Studio City? What's happening out there? Shout out to JeVon Moore, Jay Moore. I saw Jay Moore on Wednesday. I saw Rodney on Monday and Wednesday, but I saw Jay Moore on Wednesday. Shout out to JeVon. I'll see JeVon again this coming Wednesday. It'll be championship night at for men's club lacrosse. Rodney will be out there too, as will Young Rod and Nisha. It's a family of I don't remember the melody, but I want to sing Family Affair. Can you do that, Rod? Can you sing it for us?
You had it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a family affair. Shout out.
Yeah, thank you for employing my son. He
Tender
really,
love is spreading. Absolutely.
he really needed a job.
Shout out to.
He thought he was going to that recruiter's office for sure around the corner.
So wait, tell me that story, because he did agree to do the job, right? Like why did he think he was going to the recruiter's office?
He didn't know exactly where he was, and I think when his mom was taking him to the field, she kind of slowed down in front of the recruiter's office to see where she was going to make her next turn to get to the field. And it just so happened to be in front of the Air Force Base. And for those of you who don't know, when it comes to parenting and comes to boys, I put pressure on my boys. So
Mm-hmm.
I told my son if he wasn't going to college and this is his senior year of high school and he didn't have a plan, that I was marching him straight to the recruiter's office for the Air Force.
Okay.
So he got his act together. He started getting his work done. He got accepted to a couple universities.
Hey.
Uh, but he, he thought the other night that he was going to still be dropped off at the recruiter's office.
And that's funny. And that's funny as hell because he didn't just think that he was going to sign up. He thought he was getting dropped off. He's
Yes.
not. He's not 18 yet, right?
No.
Yeah. Like that's all hilarious. Poor Rod.
And I
Poor
wish
Rod.
I could have saw the look
You
on his
good?
face.
All right. Um. So let me tell y'all something about Rod's wife. All right, Harold, let's get caught up. So Jay Moore's baby girl is taking her ACT. Cool. Good luck. Good luck. Cobbs has a joke about Rodney's cousin. Rodney got all types of family members that used to play for the Lakers. KCP is his brother. Danny Green is his cousin. He might be tender, but he's out there playing with no flexibility. All right. So check it out. So listen. So Rod did a job that was affiliated with my lacrosse league on Monday, Rod Senior. Then Rod, by the way, you see Rod changed his name. Cobbs, Robert Saucier Senior.
I just noticed that. I didn't notice it at first.
All right, so check it out. So Rod Senior did the job on Monday. Rod Jr. did the job on Wednesday. And then we determined that Rod Nisha and Rod Jr. would do the job next Wednesday. So, Rod had already done the job. Young Rod was about to do the job, but Nisha wanted me to fill out a questionnaire about the job. Listen, I thought it was hilarious. But she said, I know how you and Rod are, so I know you're gonna clown me, but I need you to answer these questions. And I was so confused, y'all, because mind you, she's gonna see what the job is about, right? Because she's dropping Rod off, Rod Jr., and plus Rod Sr. already did the job. But
and told her about it.
What'd you say?
And told her about it.
And told her about it. So yeah. So she obviously she knew something because she agreed to do it, right? But hey, let's just say we can't fault anybody for what they want to know. But this is the questionnaire that Nisha wanted me to fill out. And I don't know if you guys can see this. I might have to zoom in. Hold on. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in some more. This is my bad. I'm zooming in on the wrong thing. Hold on, y'all. I probably can't even zoom in on this. All right, well anyway, hopefully you can see it. So thank you for mind you, thank you for selecting me for this opportunity. May you please fill in the following information related to the job. Mind you, she's a COVID coordinator on the lacrosse field for an hour, but position title, she filled that in for me, so I didn't have to do that. Mind you, she said I could clown her about this, so that's what's happening. she sent me a separate text telling me I was free to clown her about this. So that's what we're doing. I don't know why I can't zoom in on this. But anyway, 2, position description. 3, job location. Mind you, you're the one taking Rod Jr. today, the day that you're having me fill in all of this. Mind you, your husband's already done the job, and I'm sure you found out what the job was and also what your son was doing this night, but she wanted me to type it all out. Job location. Appointment date. She at least filled that in for me too. April 21st. Start time and end time. Mind you, it's 9 to 10. Rod Senior already talked to her about that. Anything else? Yes, something else. I am going to clown you on our podcast, Nisha. I love you, but this is happening. I was so confused, but shout out to Nisha, Causey, Saucier. Nisha is wonderful, and she makes
Yeah,
me laugh. So
she is
yeah.
different.
Yes, yeah.
Everything is super formal.
Niche, yeah. So yeah. So I mean, I filled it out. So hopefully she has no questions on Wednesday, and she shouldn't because she'll be there with two people who have already. She's literally driving there with two people who have already worked it. But I don't know. Maybe she had to plan it out. Maybe she's going to have guests there. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's
Well,
part of the documentary.
she overdoes it, but Rob was thankful. She gave him a clipboard last week and
Hmm.
and things to write with. He had a full backpack just to check names off the list.
Hey, and then the cold part is, how the system that Nelson and Eddie had. Well, that's what I told Joseph to do with Rod,
Mhm.
but Joseph wound up just checking everyone off himself. So Rod was basically just doing a double check by the time they got to his field, but Joseph wasn't really steering them to go to Rod. So some of them like went straight to the bathroom, and so Rod, he had a really easy night, but it was just because Joseph was on one. So now it'll be interesting because Joseph's actually officiating on this coming Wednesday. So that's luckily all three of you guys were available. But what was funny is one guy comes in and he was like, what do you mean, my guy? What do you mean my brother can't come in? He's been here every single game. This was Wednesday. Been here every single game. I said, well, no, not every single. Like, yes, he has. Well, he wasn't here Monday. Oh, well, Monday. That's just one day. Well, yeah, that's when all this started. No fans. This just started this week. So, are you sure he wasn't here Monday? Well, actually, no. I know that no spectators were allowed. So if he snuck in, that's one thing. But he wasn't allowed in. So, well, this is stupid. All right, this is BS. And he didn't say BS. Uh, you know, and he walks away and he comes back. He's like, I know it's not you guys, but well, then go away, you pest. Yeah, it's not us, but also you're not going to move the needle just because you're mad. And guess what school he goes to? You guessed it, 32nd Street. He goes to SC, entitled as SC student. There you go. Anyway, moving on. All right, Dodgers, best team in baseball. Who's second, Rod? Is it the Padres? Is it the Red Sox?
It's the
Is
rest
it
of the
someone else?
league.
I don't think there's anyone else in the mix for second best.
The rest of the league.
The rest of the league. So I was watching
No,
a little.
honestly,
Go
I
ahead.
don't know. It's either the Red Sox or the Padres. I don't know who went up between the two.
Oh, the Red Sox are ahead of the Padres for sure. And then of course the Dodgers beat the Padres last night, so that helped. But the Red Sox lost the night before, but the Red Sox have a better record. So what was interesting is I was watching a little intro by accident on ESPN when they were talking about the series, the Dodgers and the Dodgers and the Padres, and they were like, well, who's better and da 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 da. And they all said, well, the Dodgers, you have to say the Dodgers, but if you put them in a 7-game series, it's a toss-up and you can't say anything different. And I'm like, I don't know what planet these guys, like, first of all, you're not even being consistent with what you're saying. You're saying the Dodgers are better, but then you're saying you don't think they can you don't know if they can beat the Padres in a 7-game series.
Right.
So then you're not actually saying they're better then. Right. So it's kind of bonkers, but as Brianna would say, they got the Dodgers fucked up. The Dodgers are the best team in baseball. And it's not like a fake best like the Lakers were. Like, they are the best team in baseball. And when I say fake best, I mean, with the Lakers, you knew that Anthony Davis was going to take some time off. So the Lakers would not keep that pace. And then you weren't sure what was going to happen with LeBron. And it's funny because Rodney said to me, if Cobbs, or not Cobbs, if Davis is going to be out for some time, LeBron might just shut it down too. And I'm not saying that LeBron actually tried to do this, but boy, is it interesting. The Lakers are sub 500 since Davis went down. 13-14 as of the Boston game. 13-14 over those 27 games. And it's all because Anthony Davis has, what is it, a ripped shoestring? He couldn't get Nike to give him a replacement shoestring?
I almost slipped up and said something that I shouldn't have said. So,
oh, you going to say it on Patreon? Hey, remember, listeners and viewers, we'll give you bonus content on Patreon. We will give you bonus content on Patreon. All right. So I want to get to a Dodger game at some point this season. Trey and I were supposed to go opening day last year, but there was no opening day, didn't happen. And then by the time baseball came around, there were no fans. So we still have credit for those tickets, but we'll do something at some point, either together or separately. On the football front, Rod, the Western Athletic Conference is coming back. Did we talk about that? The WAC.
We privately spoke about it briefly, but
okay.
So are they taking Mountain West teams?
No. Well, no, that would be backwards because the Mountain West, excuse me, is the, you have the Power Five, and then I forgot we said what the other group was called, the other six or the other five, which is Conference USA, the American, the Mountain West, and a couple other ones, the MAC.
Mm-hmm.
The WAC is not one of those. The WAC will be like the Big Sky, like the MEAC, FCS. Yeah, like the Southland, FCS. So no, you wouldn't take Mountain West teams, but they are taking half of the Southland. So it's funny that you mentioned it. They're taking 5 Southland teams.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think Dixie State is actually going to go. Yeah. I forgot. I think Dixie State is playing independent right now, but they're going to go in the WAC also. I want to say. I could be wrong about that. We need a researcher to help us out. WAC football. Where you at, Dietrich? Wake up. Dietrich's supposed to be doing research for us. What's happening? All right, let's put it up here. I got you. So anyway, that'll be cool. My mentor started his career in the WAC. Then he went to the Mountain West. Then he went to the Big 12. Then he went to the Pac-10 right before it became the Pac-12. So let's see what the new WAC looks like. They're going to have, Southern 13-team conference. Oh, wow. Cal Baptist is already in the WAC. So let's see. What are they doing for football? Excuse me. Abilene Christian, Lamar, Sam Houston State, and Stephen F. Austin. Those are all currently Southland teams, so they're going over. Tarleton State, Texas, Rio Grande Valley, Southern Utah, Dixie State, New Mexico State, Grand Canyon, Cal Baptist, Seattle, and Utah Valley. I don't think Cal Baptist or Seattle have football, and I'm not sure about Utah Valley. So, yeah, there you go. All right, moving on. WAC expansion. So yeah, let me show that graphic real quick. Stop the share. Share screen. Share window. So, share. So this is what the WAC is going to look like next fall. So fall 2022. Abilene Christian, Cal Baptist, Um, what is the D? Dixie. Dixie is supposed to change its name, by the way. Dixie State is supposed to change its name. So anyway, this is what it's looking like in football's coming back. So
Yeah,
shout out to the WAC. What'd you say?
Dixie doesn't sound like a D1 team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, they are new to Division One. They are new.
Yeah.
They just left the RMAC, actually. So I've been up there a few times for basketball, including going to a camp there for the late. What was the gentleman's name that passed away? That was the supervisor who lived in Sacramento.
It's on the tip of my tongue, but I forgot.
All right. Well, I went to his basketball camp there. Yeah. Anyway, but then I've actually worked RMAC games there. So I never did work football there. But who knows what's in the future? We'll see. All right. Anything we need to get to, Rod? I'm trying to give you the rest of your Saturday.
No, not that I can think of. Not this week. This week was kind of slow.
So Cobb said that he was taking his son's plaits out so that he could have an intimidating afro for his game, and I'm wondering what happened with the game. Hey man, don't be a snob just because you played in the Great Pac-10. Excuse me. Don't be a snob, man. Everybody's got to play somewhere. Well, if you're blessed enough to play, you want to play somewhere. First of all, second of all, if you're blessed enough to officiate, and they're adding another Division I conference,
that is work.
Yeah. Now you may say, well, they're just going to move officials around. Well, possibly, but you never know what's going to happen. So there should be some opportunity there for some more officials to get. For some more officials to get a look. But Cobb, since you are still on here, how does your son do with his intimidating afro? Inquiring minds want to know. Do you know about that?
He's talking about the ref that got into it with a ref got into a fight. He sent me the link.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, hey, send us the link. Cobbs, we'll play the video right now.
From what I saw, the ref took off first.
Oh.
Like a Tupac song.
Was he at Milliken?
First.
Wow.
And he got T-rolled after that.
Oh, what?
Yes, he did. He got rolled up. You got to know when you are outnumbered. Oh, yeah. He sent it to the link that I posted on Facebook about USC accepting penalties for Tony Bland.
Oh, yeah, the one that I commented on where I said I had some insight that we would share on Patreon. So, yeah, bonus content regarding that situation. And I'm not naming any names, but okay. So you're saying that he posted the link there. Yeah, well, I'm running a podcast right now, Mr. Cobbs, so I can't really readily go to Rod's page and find the link. So if you could have just kindly grabbed it for us, that would have been great. But that's fine. I'm going to Rod's page. Thank you. Rod, hold us down while I go to your page, try to find your link. He slapped the phone out of his hand. What? What is happening? Who slapped whose phone and why? Was he recording him? Did he say no paparazzi? Like, what happened? Or you said face?
I didn't see that part. I don't know. I just know that I don't want to be that ref on YouTube. Uh, so I definitely pick my battles wisely.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the crowd is not on your side. You got to kind of know your audience, and you got to know when the whole building is against you. And obviously, the whole building was against him, and
Mm-hmm.
they they caught him slipping. And when I tell you he went head over heels, he
All of
literally went
that?
head over heels.
All right, let's see what we got here, buddy. I'm gonna play it. We gotta have stuff like this queued up in the future. Like if we're gonna play stuff, like let's pretend like we're running a podcast here, okay? All right, buddy. Spectator approaches ref, gets slapped. Wait, I thought you said the official got T-rolled.
Oh, he does.
Oh, he does. Okay. I'm laughing, but I don't know that it's funny. I gotta see. I gotta see. Like if he instigated it. Oh, look up. Oh no, this is a kids game.
Yes,
Oh boy.
AAU. That's why
Oh,
I stay away from that whole thing.
hold on. Hold on, y'all. I don't really want to enter full screen. I don't want to do that. All right. I'm going to share it and play it. So hold on. This is fun. Share screen. Window. Boom. Share. All right. Let's see what we got here. Hey, his friend left him.
Gone.
Wait, does he? Does one guy have on shorts and the other one has on pants? Oh, oh. Wait, is the kid? Wait, the kid is hitting him too. What is happening? Oh, he's getting to skipping. You know, when we get to skipping, boy, it's gonna be a long day. Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, that's not pretty.
Nah, that's. I need
That's
to watch
not
that
pretty.
again, and it seemed like. I mean, I don't know. It seemed like the official was the aggressor, and maybe he. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what was happening there, but it looked like maybe he thought that might be a fair fight. So,
Know your audience.
well, yeah, that part. Hey, can I actually charge this way? I have this little Bose SoundLink Mini, and we want to take it. I want to take it to the golf course, but for whatever reason, I'm not able to charge it. I haven't been able to charge it. I think the charger broke, and so I'm trying a different way. See if I can charge it with the mini USB. Anyway, all right, back to y'all. Hey, everybody, thank you for joining us. This is episode 57 of the Collective Podcast. We are live. This is AC from LA. I got my man Saucier Senior. Oh, now he shared the link. All right, thanks, bro. The ref punched first. Yeah. He was probably getting antagonized by Jimmy McElroy the fourth, so he had to. He got a little too big for his britches and got taken out. That's too bad. But going back to the SC situation, Rob, what do you think about the self-imposed sanctions from SC and then the NCAA agreeing to essentially just signing off on what they on
It's
the
it's
self-imposed sanctions.
it's fair. I mean, I was surprised that Sean Miller stayed at Arizona so long, considering the same stuff had been mentioned going on in Arizona.
Yeah,
Um, they've also they're also still investigating Kansas and Bill Self. Um,
Bill Self with the lifetime contract.
right, and I was surprised that they gave him a lifetime contract, considering this investigation is still going, and several other schools. But I don't know, man. I was hoping the result of things would be different as far as the whole AAU circuit and all of that, because they've really taken the power out of high school athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't play AAU now, you really don't get recruited. It's almost as if you have to play travel ball, um, and it's just one big money wheel.
So it's interesting that you mentioned that because that is the deal in softball. You don't get recruited out of high school. You get recruited from travel ball. And it's not called AAU, but and it's been that way for quite some time. It's largely the same in soccer. Um, I don't know if it's the same in baseball. I imagine it is, but I don't know for sure. But it's interesting that um, that basketball is going that way. And I've had this talk with you on the side before. I had this talk with Cobbs. It is really, really interesting, and I think that you guys' stance is that it's bad for basketball, right?
I don't like it.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be. I like it the old way, where only certain players were selected to play AAU.
yeah,
Elite players.
yeah,
Um, Once it became everyone plays, it is the money just went through the roof,
yeah.
and not necessarily for the coaches, because some of the coaches will say, "Oh man, you don't even understand how much money I spend out of my own pocket." I get that, and you know, it's kind of like, I guess, for the lack of a better way, capitalism.
Hmm.
You're gonna have some casualties, but the right coach will have backing
Yeah,
and sponsorship, and you'll have the have and the have nots, just like capitalism. It's just, it's a small glimpse of life.
yeah,
um and those particular coaches will get the best players, and they will
hmm,
get shoe deals, and they will get all kinds of stuff,
hmm.
which sets them up to, which sets the others up to be crooked, because they're not getting those things, and they still need to find a way to get good players to their teams. So they're
Right.
going to say, hey, we're not going to make you pay uh, the fees, single mom, because we know you're struggling. Your son could just run with us. And then it preys on, for me, it preys on underprivileged youth.
Yeah,
I mean, and it's like every year they're getting this special treatment because they know they're wanted. And so, people are waiving fees, and they're sliding them shoes, and they're putting them in special tournaments and all this kind of stuff. And the kids grow up, you know, privileged, and they don't understand the value of the sport. It's just a business. And the love doesn't grow for the actual sport. It's just kind of like, hey, this is just a business deal, and this is a means for my business. So that's why they come out hollering about a brand at like 15 or 16, and already putting together YouTube highlights and they can to sell themselves. Um, and there are no boundaries. Coaches will
Yeah.
go to great lengths to get the best player that they can get, and then when we're on the court as officials, we see that attitude. Everyone has protected you and babied you and given you everything you wanted, and now we got to deal with it, and we have to deal with some on the college level. The universities were hiring a lot of those AAU coaches to get players they wanted.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we know you love Coach Tony, so we're going to hire Coach Tony here at just let's just say Utah as an example.
SC.
I'm not saying Utah, but
You can use
just an
SC as an
example.
example.
And now he's going to Utah.
Or
He can't.
USC. They are going to
I'm
SC.
messing with you.
The Twin Towers, they are going to SC. Like you can use real examples. You don't have to sugarcoat it. They are at SC with their dad, their coach. Let's go.
Yeah, but I
Go ahead.
mean, it's happened at several schools that I know of,
Yeah,
without
right.
going
I
the
got you.
list. And it's I mean, it's crooked because they wouldn't be going there if you didn't hire their coach. And then
Damn.
when you're done, the coaches quit or leave, or sometimes they stay. If they can continue to just kind of bring their AAU talent to your team to make sure they get a look and a shot at the NBA, they'll just stay there and just it becomes a little factory. But for me, that's an unfair advantage to other schools, to other, you know, AAU teams,
Yeah.
to other players. It's I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. I wish they would reform AAU altogether.
Hmm.
And I thought this case was going to do that with correcting these shoe deals and these shoe companies. But because they make so much money, they a lot of times white collar crimes, as we know, don't get penalized. They just get a slap on the wrist. Hey, pay this fine, do some community service, um, give away some of your stuff, and you're good. And we'll gladly take that penalty, and they'll just go
Right.
right back at it.
It was worth the risk.
Right.
Can you read Elaine's comment for the listeners?
In essence, it creates a sense of false hope, and some of these players are not as good as they think they are, and most are soft because they are spoiled. I definitely agree with that.
So it's the
I
tender
mean,
love generation.
the tender love league.
The transfer portal generation and the tender love league.
Right. Oh, we didn't talk about that. Thank you, Cobbs. Yeah, they got a new rule in the NCAA. You can have a one-time transfer without penalty. Um, Now that I'm not so mad at, because these coaches, they up and leave for new jobs and leave the kids sitting there after you've promised little Timmy that you were going to take care of him and you were going to be his parent away from home and you were going to make sure he graduated in 4 years and the whole nine, that they come in and tell your mom and dad, and now he turns into Flash from the Five Heartbeats. Today is my last day of but you can catch me at the next school where we're
Right in the
preseason
fight.
number
Hey,
one.
listen.
Isn't that what Roy Williams did to Kansas? Oh, I'm not going anywhere. No, I love it here. I'm a Jayhawk for life. 2 days later, hey, couldn't wait to be a Tar Heel.
Yeah.
So some of those players, they expect you to be there. They take you at your word. Their parents take you at your word, and They want you to be there, and you're telling them you're going to be there. You're not telling them, well, maybe in a year or two, I may look to something different because they wouldn't come to you.
Right.
So let's call it what it is. You're lying to them and getting them to your school. And then if you're at a mid major and a major comes knocking, you're out.
Right.
And the players get this new coach who sometimes says, you know what? You don't fit my system. You don't fit my plans. We recruited another guy at your position. Um, you should probably look to transfer. Well, now you're sitting the season, and it's not your fault. So, yeah, man, I'm not mad at that rule, but they need to clean up this AAU stuff.
I hear you. So shout out to Anthony Carter Sr. He's here today. Shout out to Anthony Cobb. Shout out to Dietrich. Shout out to Larry Gray. And good morning. Shout out to Elaine L. Williams checking in. But I want to go back to this comment from Anthony Cobbs because I'm not just going to let you get this off. Nobody said anything about bumping music on the golf course. I said it's a SoundLink Mini. It is a Bose, but it doesn't really pack a powerful punch. And we're talking about playing it very low inside of the cart. Now, mad people have music on the golf course, and then you just play it so that the people either in your cart or around your cart can hear it. So that's all that was, brother.
Hey, man, I know you better play the Burt Bacharach version of Method Man when you get out there. You're going to get chased off.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you are the guy. Quarterback, Justin Fields, 49ers. Right, Dietrich? Right, Larry? All right. All right, so yeah, we're gonna keep it light today. I appreciate everybody's contribution. WNBA draft. It was great. It was great to see. It's great to see the players happy. Great to see teams making moves. The Sparks lost Candace Parker and Chelsea Gray in the offseason. And so it was like, how do we recover? How do the Sparks recover? They had a hell of a draft, man. They had a hell of a draft. Now, of course, the Dallas Wings had the best draft, but they also had 15,000 first-round picks. So I don't know what their team looked like before the draft, but the Sparks definitely got better, and everybody's chasing Seattle because Seattle are the champs again.
I really wanted the Sparks to get Chelsea Dungy. I really did. But Dallas picked her at number 5. But she is the real, in my eyes, she's the real deal. She can finish either.
Are we talking about her playing ability, Rod?
Only her playing ability.
Okay. All right. So talk to us. Go ahead.
I mean, like, she's 6 feet tall. She's a guard.
And she's a deceptive 6 feet tall, too, because I didn't realize she was 6 feet tall.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
But she's a 6-foot guard who can finish with either hand, and she can shoot. I mean, and she can defend.
Right.
She's the total package. She's NBA ready, WNBA ready.
Yeah.
And I was really hoping that the Sparks would snatch her, but they didn't. They didn't get a chance.
She wasn't available. Yeah. Well, and I thought they were going to get Michaela, but Michaela got scooped up by the Liberty at 6. So
right.
So yeah, I mean, it was on brand. The Sparks got who they thought they would get if Michaela dropped. They didn't think they could get Chelsea. They knew she'd be gone. To your point.
Question number 1.
Charlie Collier.
Right. Apparently, she made it known after she got drafted that she made a comment about, I don't care about the naysayers. My dad told me I was going number 1. I went number 1. I'm gonna just continue to play. Well, apparently the naysayers, it was pointed out, says that she doesn't play hard, that she doesn't have a high motor every night. So just based on the history of people who don't give it 100% every night, you think she'll be a bust? Have we
Well,
seen a bust in the WNBA?
yeah, we've seen, but
I mean, I've seen players not reach their full potential, but have we seen just an all-out bust?
you gonna make me
Um,
do this? You gonna make me?
yes,
Rebecca
say
Lobo
it.
was an all-out bust in the WNBA, but um,
She was.
uh, yeah. Actually, Kara Walters wound up having a better career than Rebecca Lobo. But shout out to Rebecca Lobo, one of the pioneers. And I say bust because she wound up being average, and she was supposed to be the truth and the answer,
Was she
right?
even average? I wouldn't even say she was average.
Listen, okay,
She got
let's
bounced around a little bit because of her size, but
yeah. So yeah, yeah. So who? Yeah, I got a player in mind who exceeded all expectations and wound up having a better career than one might have thought. And that's Becky Hammond, because she didn't come in like as a superstar. She came out of Colorado State and was, just kind of supposed to blend in, but she was a top tier point guard for her whole career. Um, we have seen some busts. I wasn't prepared for that question, so I can't really think. I don't even want to throw Rebecca Lobo in there because she actually had a career, but there have been people who just didn't last at all. Um, so will that be Charlie Collier? I don't know. Listen. I don't think James Harden plays hard every night, but he's going to the Hall of Fame. So, um,
he plays hard on offense.
yeah. Bust? No, but is it possible that here's what I think will happen? I think that there will be a rude awakening when things don't fall into place while you half-ass it, and then the behavior will be corrected. That's what I believe. So I actually believe she will be great, but I think that if it's the case that she doesn't play hard every night, then there'll be some. So here's the thing: you're going against your class, right?
Right.
We know Ari McDonald plays hard constantly and consistently.
High
So
mark.
if we get through the first quarter of the season and we're approaching the All-Star break, and she's leading the polls for Rookie of the Year because you're lazy. Well, no, because she's not lazy and she can go. But you're supposed to have all of this talent, and we get to talking about Rod's favorite word, upside. Then
Mhm.
you're probably going to have to look internally. But we'll see. We will see. Um, yeah, I think there's some other people, but yeah. So we'll see. Do you think she's gonna be a bust?
I do not. The only
Okay.
reason I ask that question is, when I look in the history of sports, people who don't
And
bring
mind
it.
you, he's been there for the entire history of sports, ladies and gentlemen. Rodney Saucier.
When you
Go
start
ahead.
getting that knock on, when people put that knock on you, a lot of times the players who have that knock don't last.
Hmm.
Um, and so I hope that I haven't seen enough of her to say it's true or not. Um, I just hope that she doesn't get comfortable and make that knock true. I want to see her because skill wise she can do it all. I want to see her do it. I don't want to see Anthony Bennett
Hmm.
because when I saw him play at UNLV, I said this dude he can do everything. And then he gets drafted number one by Cleveland, and people are like, "Why did they do it?" And I'm like, "Well, I know why they did it. This dude can flat out ball, but he got that. He signed that dotted line, and it was a wrap after that. I think as soon as he got his first check, he was like, "I'm set." He did not want to play.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't, and that's one thing that you can't really measure is the work ethic off the floor when they're not in games and not in practice, what they're doing to condition and eat and all that kind of stuff outside of you. You can just
Mm-hmm.
hope, you try to get the GMs try to get as much information as they can by talking to friends and talking to people who know them. But that's something that you just don't have a control over. And some people are great at it, and we've seen it. I mean, Jamarcus Russell was a perfect example. You know, just couldn't stay away from that dinner table.
Oh boy. Um, well, I'll tell you who does play hard every night. A former number one overall, and that's Asia Wilson, Las Vegas, out of South.
Yes, she does.
Honey, I'm on my podcast. I'm recording. I'll be done in a second. Um, so
So something must have happened. Oh, okay.
we are
There it
back from a commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for still being here. We appreciate you. So Elaine says that there'll be pressure on Charlie Collier, but we'll see how she handles it. Javon says she'll be okay because she plays down low with her back to the basket and offense will feed her. But she still got to play defense. So we'll see what
Right.
happens.
And you still have to play. I mean,
And you have to play.
You can play with your back to the basket, and they can feed you, but you can do a Dwight Howard and decide, oh, I'm gonna throw it right back out. Every
Yeah.
time they throw it to me, I'm gonna throw it right back.
Yeah.
So
That part. Okay. Oh, okay. Thanks, Rob. I think it was because I'm just now seeing that, but I think it was because I had it plugged into the computer. Anyway, all right, y'all. WNBA draft. Shout out to the WNBA. Shout out to everyone drafted. Shout out to Asia Wilson. Candace Parker, we miss you already. You were my favorite player for much of your career. And then we passed that off to Asia Wilson. And yeah, and I don't want you to do too well where you are, but I want you to continue to excel. And then let's be real about Charlie Collier. I don't really care what she does. I don't like Dallas. I actually watch the WNBA and I love the Sparks and I love the Aces and I hate everybody else. So, I want Dallas to win 0 games. I want Seattle to win 0 games, Minnesota to win 0 games, Atlanta to win 0 games. Like this is real. Like Western Conference Championship, Las Vegas Aces, or actually they don't do it like that. So in the final, let's go Aces and Sparks. Bam, bam, bam. All right, Rob, let's go ahead and go to the closeout. Now they come to the closeout. Let's go.
hey, I'm gonna keep it short and simple. Continue to stay safe. Have a great weekend and enjoy this nice day that looks like it's coming today. And I am definitely gonna get some rest.
You gonna get some rest?
Yes, I am.
So Awesome. So I woke up at 4, and then didn't go back to sleep. And I left the house at 5:15 to go get my hair cut. Excuse me, so that I can make it back here on time for the podcast to start on time. And so at some point today, I will get rest. But like I told you guys, I have a lacrosse game and then I have a basketball game. So I'm gonna come back here and hang out with Kayla. I don't know what our plans are for later, but there will be daylight. So I know for sure I'll let her ride her bike. And then I don't know what else. So we'll see. Everybody stay safe. Please remain as safe as you can. I see the LA County is down to 1% positivity rate, or positive. I forgot how you say it, but 1% of the population has tested positive for COVID-19, which means that it's down. 1% is actually good. 1% is the lowest it's been since there was a state of emergency declared. So LA County is going in the right direction. I'm in San Bernardino County. We're going in the right direction. But it's only happening because people are getting vaccinated and people are still social distancing, excuse me, and still wearing masks. With LA County being 1%, I would imagine that Orange County is probably 9% because they don't like to follow rules. They don't like to take suggestions, and they like to walk around like Johnny Dangerous. But hey, everybody, please be safe. Wear a mask, social distance. Whether you get vaccinated or not, just do all the other things and be safe. Elaine says, "Be safe, 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 safe. Be safe and stay healthy." My dad, AC Senior, great job, guys. Thank you. Thank you all.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate you. Shout out to Rod Senior, Nisha, Rod Junior, Lauren, Zaire. Shout out to Brianna, Braylon, Kayla, me. Shout out to my pops. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to my sister. Bam. We love y'all. This episode 57 live of the Collective Podcast. Thank you all for coming on. Elaine, Jay Moore, Pops, Cobbs, Dietrich, Larry Gray. Is that everybody? That's everybody. We love y'all. We love y'all. Go Niners. How can you not jam to this funky beat? You see how it slows down when the countdown goes?